Happy Monday, and welcome back to the Eat More Plants workshop. Today is day 8, bonus session number 2. So welcome, drop a hey in the chat, let me know you are here. I see Facebook users. If you haven't hit the StreamYard link, remember you want to do that. Today's session is all about navigating social situations. And we do have that third bonus session tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And remember, all of the sessions, all of the content comes down on Wednesday at noon, both from Facebook and YouTube. So you have to connect with me. Let me know if you need a replay. Let me know if you need a link. Let me know if you need more time. Get a message to me. I am your coach all week. I am at your service. I opened up my calendar for you. I want to help you gain the clarity and work through these strategies to really write that plan to pave your way to plant-based. So today we're talking social situations and navigating that. And tomorrow it's going to be all about plant-based foods, wellness, and health. Health is wealth. So I really want to invite you to be present, turn off those distractions, and really be here with me. Again, I'm a real person. I always thank you for, being comfortable with random noises that may happen. I can't go into a closet and shut my door or go into a space in my house. It is all here. And we've got rice cooking in our Instant Pot. So hopefully that's not too noisy. But you never know if you'll see a cat. They've been pretty quiet. It's been kind of hot over here today, so they've been laying low. But I am excited to have you here. Drop some fire in the chat. I see Angel, Jen, Joan. I have some other Facebook users. Corey, hello. Hello, Jody. I love this. Hashtag Team Live. Remember, if you're catching the replay, give me that hashtag Team Replay. And let's drop some fire in the chat. We've got one more bonus session after tonight, and then it all goes away. And I really pivot towards working very, very hard to get our new Successfully Plant-Based program members enrolled, have their enrollment calls already scheduled this week. They can start as soon as tomorrow. very excited. I'm your host, Kathy Davis, former school teacher turned plant-based lifestyle coach, two-time cookbook author, and the CEO of VegInspired. I help people every day transition to a plant-based lifestyle that supports their fast-paced schedules without requiring hours in the kitchen and the stress of what am I going to eat. I've been creating vegan meals for over 7 years and really documented those habits, those daily habits that took me from where I was a year and a half ago, uncomfortable in my clothes, overweight, miserable, foggy brain, to lots of energy, leveling up my health, excited about movement, excited about colored foods, and really just living the best life. So if you're ready to finally follow your path to plant-based, let's drop it in the chat. Your time is now. You are here. You are present. And I am grateful that you are spending your Monday night with me. I love this. Soroya, yes. Hello, Joanne. I see my team Facebook and my team YouTube. This is awesome. So today's focus is really going to be on navigating those social situations. And yesterday we talked about playing the long game and really starting right away, but understanding that every decision you make moves you one step closer to your goal. So we've done all sorts of things, right? We've written affirmations, we've written our goals, but it really comes down to you taking action. That action might be slapping those affirmations everywhere. It might be setting up time to journal, setting up time to meal plan, right? When you do the strategies work for you. So let's really take some time to talk about these social situations. And one that I get lots of questions on is dining out. So here you are, right? Your friends give you a call. Hey, family, hey, we're going to meet for so-and-so's birthday. You want to come? We're going to XYZ restaurant. My number one tip, you probably can guess, is plan ahead. Review the website. Look at the menu. Call or email the restaurant. Failing to plan is planning to fail. I work a lot with my clients on this. I have them send me the menu of the restaurant, and we actually go through some options so that you aren't sitting there eating an iceberg lettuce salad, which there's nothing wrong with that, and French fries. There are so many other options of things that you can do, and it could be as simple as ordering the Santa Fe, I'm making up the name, but let's just say the Santa Fe salad that has mixed greens, beans, corn, peppers, tomatoes, all the like taco-y things, and chicken, and saying, can you do the chicken on the side? And may I just have oil and vinegar? Done. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be the difficult one at the table if you plan ahead. Number two with that, you could eat beforehand and go for the company and then just have a side salad with some oil and vinegar. If you're not using oil, just a little vinegar. I've also done something like, if we go to a Mexican restaurant, I'll get an avocado salad and add some lime juice to it. If the beans aren't cooked with any lard or any oil, sometimes I'll add the beans. It really just comes with planning ahead. And then, of course, you could use restaurant suggestions such as Happy Cow is a great app to find restaurants in the area that offer vegan and vegetarian options, or you can join your local Facebook group. If you're traveling to go out of town and you're really looking for, options at the beach or options in the mountains or options in a city that you're visiting, joining the local Facebook group, letting them know you're coming into town. And, one of my favorite questions in those groups is, I'm only going to be in town for one day. What's your number one recommendation? Right? Figure out those places with vegan options that you can eat and maybe suggest those. Maybe, obviously you're not going to say, oh, I know it's your birthday, but can we go to the restaurant I want? But if you're going with friends and they're talking about meeting up and they're not really sure where to go, suggest a place that has both omni and vegan options. And then a bonus tip is really let's talk a little bit about meals you can make at different types of restaurants. So this is a great time to have your pen and paper because it really starts to get you thinking. Now, as a caveat, always double check ingredients and ask some questions. But typically at a steakhouse, you could get a salad with all their veggies no dairy, no meat, right? And then maybe vinegar, or ask for lemon or lime wedges and, squirt that on if you're not really a vinegar person. You could ask for a plain baked potato with avocado or salsa. But a question you might want to ask is, is there any animal products in either of those? Why they put bacon in guacamole is beyond me, but sometimes these fancy restaurants do that as a enhancer to the avocado. Like, the avocado is amazing by itself. It doesn't need bacon. And make sure the potato isn't rubbed with any animal fat or butter before it's baked. Sometimes they do that to enhance the flavor. At an Asian restaurant, you could get steamed rice and veggies with a low sodium soy sauce. There should be no animal products in steamed rice, but always ask. Always ask that they, cook the veggies plain. You could do vegetable sushi rolls, avocado, cucumber, carrot. Some places even have veggie sushi on the menu, and you can often ask if you have a real aversion to the fish. You could ask for fresh gloves and a fresh knife. At a Mexican restaurant, a lot of times I will do salad with lime juice, possibly beans if they don't use lard, or rice if they don't use any animal stock. Sometimes you can do tableside guacamole. What I love to do with the tableside guacamole is I get to watch what they're doing. That's why I love that. And then always double check with the chips. Sometimes they're fried in a shared fryer. If that's if you have an aversion to that, you may want to check with that. Other times they're not fried at all and they're just warmed in like a bread drawer. At an Italian restaurant, you can often get a plain pasta with a red sauce that may not have animal products. Many marineras are vegan, just double check. We've been to places where all the sauces have no animal products and cheese. And then we were at a pizza place and they used chicken stock and cheese, and we ended up with a dough and veggie pizza. It was not ideal. So I always double check beforehand. But I kind of prefer my pizzas now without vegan cheese. So I'm okay if the restaurant doesn't serve vegan cheese. And really looking at what options they do have for veggies. And then at American restaurants, oftentimes you can get home fries cooked without butter. They likely will still use oil because they wouldn't be, necessarily experienced in cooking without oil. Sourdough toast is often a safe bet, but always ask to look at the label or ask if the server has knowledge in plant-based options or vegan options. Again, salads with vinegar or lemon and lime wedges. Fries sometimes are served, it can be fried in a separate fryer. Sometimes the gluten-free fryer is also vegan because they don't put a lot of the breaded items in, but it's always important to ask. Steamed veggies, baked potatoes with guacamole, avocado or salsa, fruit plates, pasta can oftentimes be made with veggies. Sometimes the hummus and veggies could be an option. Just check the pita bread because often traditionally that can be made with yogurt. So always look at those. And these are just really things to be thinking about. It is easy to start to eat out when you know what to ask. So trying to eat more whole food plant-based at a vegan restaurant, you want to look at their house-made products versus the processed products. So you might be able to get a veggie burger or a homemade black bean burger at a vegan restaurant that might be cooked in a little oil but doesn't have all the processed oils and things that might be included in, say, a commercially processed vegan burger. Look for the house-made cashew cheeses or nut-based cheeses versus those ones that are made commercially that often use coconut oil and things of that nature. Order the noodle or grain bowls and skip those deep fried sides and those deep fried appetizers and really look at what your goal is. So one of the big caveats I have with this, and I want to be very clear, is you can eat what you want. This is about your goal. It's about making it an intentional lifestyle choice. And then eat what you want and pivot right back to your daily habits. I posted in the group today, It's not what you do once in a while. It's what you do every day, day in and day out. We don't gain weight from that one Reese cup or one Justin's peanut butter cup that we eat once in a while, or the Christmas cookie that we eat once in a while. It's the day in and day habits that we make that cause us to eat unaligned, that cause us to have the issues that we have that we're trying to correct. So I give you all of this information, but I want to preface it too with intention over perfection, right? If I hit up a vegan restaurant and they have a burger and fries, homemade burger, French fries with ranch dressing, I'm likely to eat that. It's one of my favorite meals, but I don't eat that every day. I'm happy eating my homemade veggie burgers and russet wedges. To make this sustainable, you need to practice that pivot. You need to practice getting right back to that alignment and not letting that one meal, that one intentional choice, that cookie, that cupcake, that one time derail you. This is really where that accountability component and these open conversations with me as a trusted coach will really help. I tell my clients all the time, I am not going to be disappointed in you, but I want you to be honest with me because I can help you. I've likely been there. I'm the one who ate the key lime cheesecake and went to Epcot and celebrated their birthday with chocolate cake, right? I've been there. So I want you to really, really think about the choices that you're making as the intention and understand that you don't have to do this alone and that every step of the way there's somebody here that's with you and guiding you. And I really want to, think about what you can do from the daily basis to set yourself up for those decisions. And in a minute, we're going to talk about practicing conversations in those social situations. But first, I'm excited to introduce you to Lisa Janice. She is part of the Successfully Plant-Based family. She's been with the program since April. She also did a pre-recorded session with me. So let me bring that up for you. Hello, welcome. So today I'm lucky enough to have Lisa Janice with us, and I'm really excited. I know that you've had some amazing breakthroughs and results working with me, and I'm really thankful and so grateful that you're here to share your journey with me and in the Successfully Plant-Based program. Why don't you start, Lisa, by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, I wanted to be plant-based for a while. I got a little start in last October, but a lot of family things got in the way and the momentum died. And then when I heard about Kathy's class, I thought, well, maybe this is another opportunity to kind of get a head start because of the 5-day Successfully Plant workshop that I attended. And that's kind of how I got involved. And I'm really wanting to make a lifestyle change for the whole family.
I love that. Yes. And I love that you said that you want to make a lifestyle change for the whole family, because that really resonates. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your family or a little bit more about that goal?
Sure. I have a husband and 2 girls, and we have a great life together, but 3 of us are overweight, and I really need to protect my child's future as well as wanting to have parents that live a long time. So I thought, what can I do that will benefit everybody? And so being plant-based, whole food, was a way to align all of our goals together.
I love that. I love that. And I know it's so important to you to be a role model for your daughters. And that just speaks so close to my heart, being trained as a school teacher. It's awesome. So you found me through the Eat More Plants workshop. Why did you choose to invest in the Successfully Plant-Based program?
That's a good question. I don't take investments lightly. It could be a little or a lot, but I think what I knew is I wanted accountability, and I wanted it to be someone who I thought was friendly, would still hold you accountable, could kind of pick you up and keep you going. So when you mentioned your idea of progress, not perfection, and that we pivot a lot when we're stuck, those things resonated with me. So I could know I wouldn't get stop and start like I had done before with what you would call dieting. This is like different than a diet. This is like, it's like turning a ship around. You know, you're really seeing the big picture beyond specific foods.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I think we can all relate to that dieting mindset of start and stop and yo-yo this way. And it just becomes so frustrating when when we don't create those habits around lifestyle change. So you've been working with me for about 6 weeks. Do you feel your investment is worthwhile so far?
Yes. First off, my family noticed, oh, you're cooking so many meals. And one of my things I'm working on with you right now is having a meal plan where let's say I do 5 meals, and then I have my new meal plan for the next week. And before, I would drop the ball getting the next meal plan going. Now, just in case my groceries aren't bought the day before, I go out at nighttime and get them for the next morning. So I think that's one of the benefits. And we've lost a little weight. And while that was primary at first, now I see it as a benefit of being plant-based. So that's another plus. And knowing I can reach out to you to answer questions like I want to use less oil. How do I do that? And there's probably more than this, but I think it just puts me in a happier state knowing I have a plan going forward for, the foreseeable future.
Yes, I love that. I love it. And, one of the things that you said that really, really, solidifies all of this with me is that you moved weight loss to be a benefit instead of the primary focus. And we talk a lot about in the program, because that's such a huge breakthrough, right? When we put the scale as a secondary measure and really start to measure how we feel and the joy and the habits, it really does make this easier to have a lifestyle. So do you feel like you would have achieved what you've achieved so far in just those 6 weeks as quickly without the program?
Probably not. And because I've tried this before on my own, and I think it's great to dabble and see how far you can go. But I think I was tired of the roller coaster for me, gain weight, lose weight. And that was just so draining that almost I didn't want to do anything else, because who wants to gain more weight? But this was more like taking it off the diet angle. And I think you just said it earlier. How many plant-based meals can I get in per day? One meal at a time. I think taking the stress off of the big picture and just focusing day to day, that has gone really well for me. And now I can brainstorm better about how to put foods together. And that's just after 6 weeks. Imagine with everything I hear over time, I can see food and make meals in my head in addition to liking a meal plan.
Exactly. Like where you'll be at the end of the 1 year program and beyond. I mean, it truly is about that transformation. And
Yeah.
I just love that you're seeing these results so fast. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your journey, about your thoughts about the program, about working with me, or just the things your family's seeing in general?
Okay, a few things. When one person goes plant-based and then you have your omnivores, I was trying to cook meat for them and their meals and my meals. So I tried that for a few weeks. And now, without them knowing, I'm just mainly cooking, whole food plant-based meals. And if they need a little meat, then I can, have some pre-cooked meat. I have to tell you, one benefit I never thought of is I really like not cooking meat. To me, cooking meat was always stressful, but now I don't even have to think about it. The other benefit is, let's just say you eat something that's not on the meal plan, or, somewhat off the whole food plant-based. I don't feel like it defeats, or I don't feel defeated. I feel like, okay, let's pivot, because the thing about dieting for me is if you make a mistake, then your day's gone. You have to start new the next day. I had a lot of next days, but in this case, it doesn't feel like that, partly because of how you set it up, how we set up you reframe your mind. That was a big thing for me. And the other thing is there's the motivation of the other people in the group and also on the portal and the Facebook page. So I think I didn't count on the support being as helpful as I've seen it to be.
I love that. Yes, our successfully plant-based community has become such a little family, and I love that we're able to learn from each other. Even me, I mean, I'm still on the journey, right? I'm not at my ideal weight, so I might be a little bit ahead, and I might have the framework kind of figured out, but I'm running this with you, and it really allows us to, bounce ideas off of each other and just get energy and support from each other. And I love that about our little plant-based family.
One thing I was going to add that I didn't expect, but is a big plus, is you talk a lot about affirmations. I was going to say accomplishments, but that too. I've always known about affirmations. I always try to see the better side of things, but I really didn't put affirmations front and center. So I'm looking forward to developing that more with you, because right now I'm just getting the meals made, but then you can put affirmations, like you kind of layer this process. I don't think one would want to expect to do it all on day one. I'm being patient with myself to do all breakfasts or lunches, or then add the affirmations, or then add exercise. So I don't feel overwhelmed, just for me.
I love that. It's definitely a layer, and it really is sometimes more than just the food. And that's one of the reasons why I created the program with the structure that it had, is because it is more than the food. And the cool part is you can go back into the portal and you can watch those trainings that you might have missed, or that when you're ready to implement the affirmations or the dinners or the breakfasts. So it really does provide that support. I am so grateful and so thankful that you helped us today and you came on here and shared your story. We appreciate it. And I know that there's somebody sitting in the audience that relates to you, because I relate to you. And if there's anything else you want to say, we appreciate you. And thank you so much for your time, Lisa.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me, and thanks for offering this opportunity.
You're welcome. All right. Well, I will be back in just a minute. Bye, Lisa.
Bye-bye.
It's always nice to hear from people in the program experiencing it, but one of the things that really resonates with Lisa's story is the start and stop. We've all been there, and I know that there's some comments in the chat. I've talked to some of you about the start and stop and it's like a constant, as Lisa said, roller coaster. And one of the things that I really want to prepare you for as you're navigating the social situation is the conversations. And I saw Corey's question about an all-inclusive resort. Honestly, I would email the concierge ahead of time and let them know your dietary preferences and see if they have a plan. I know that some of the resorts have, buffet plans and ideas and things of that nature that they can implement for somebody with a dietary preference, and they may be able to direct you through that as you're navigating the space and as you're on vacation, because that's fun. So one of the big things about navigating social situations, and I do apologize, my Instant Pot is releasing right now on its own, so hopefully that will happen quickly and it won't be too loud, is really the conversations around your new lifestyle. Oh, there it is. So one of the key phrases I want you to delete from your vocabulary is, I can't eat that. You can say it right now, and then I want you to say it with disgust, like yuck. We're deleting that from our vocabulary, because frankly, you can eat whatever you want. You are a grown adult. You make your own decisions. I want you to focus on your choice. I don't want you to utter that phrase again. You can eat whatever you want. You're choosing not to eat it. And when you say things like, I can't eat that, people around you pick up on it and they start associating a negative connotation with what you eat. Now, you know my story. I was a resistor. I am sure I was probably a jerk in my previous pre-vegan life to people who were vegan. Not intentionally, but because I would have been terrified to make the choice to eat vegan. I went vegan 7 years ago. So I was introduced to the concept as a choice, as a lifestyle for me almost 8 years ago, 7.5 years ago. But I know people who were vegetarian and vegan before that. I'm sure I was like, I can't believe they're vegan. Like, oh my gosh, what do you even eat? Because that's a question I get all the time. So really, I want you to really be thinking about how you talk about your choices around people and about the positive side of eating more plants. Some phrases and responses that I suggest you kind of memorize or, reword, do your own word track and keep in your back pocket to help people is the response to plant-based, vegan. What do you even eat? Well, I eat vegetables, potatoes, whole grains, fruits, nuts, seeds, just regular food. It doesn't have to be I eat tofu and processed Beyond Burgers and vegan tacos. You just eat normal food. Now, when they get into it, they might want to know brands. If they're new or curious, they might want to know what you eat for ice cream or if you eat a vegan hot dog and things like that. But really kind of playing it off as, I eat vegetables. I eat a lot of the same foods that you eat. I just choose not to eat them with an animal product. It's a choice. And my favorite is the response to, oh yeah, oh, I'm sorry. When they hand something to you and then they're like, oh yeah, sorry, you can't eat that. I mean, I suppose I could eat it. I just choose not to, right? You'll go to picnics and parties and people will be like, hey, look, I brought this salad. And they're like, oh wait, but you can't eat that. And you might respond with, I choose not to eat that, but I did bring this salad that you might like. I did bring a grilled potato salad with a chimichurri dressing that you might like, or a rainbow quinoa salad. It just has veggies and quinoa in it. Or the potatoes, right? It just has potatoes and grilled veggies and a dressing. Nothing weird. All familiar foods. And that's one of my tips has always been to introduce people to what you eat by introducing them to familiar foods. A lot of times we'll make fajitas. We do a lot of veggies in the fajitas, a lot of familiar veggies that everybody likes. We will add tofu because people want to try it, but they might not want to eat a tofu sandwich. Tempeh, we love to share our tempeh bacon with people, but that's not the primary part of the meal. Usually we'll do something like pancakes because who doesn't love pancakes? But I won't be saying the only option you have is tofu scramble. I might say we're going to do pancakes and then we'll have some tofu scramble if you want to try it. But it's really about familiar foods. Somebody might say, oh, you can't have this cupcake. You might say, oh, but I did bring one that's made with all whole foods. You might want to try it. It has peanut butter frosting. Relating to things that they know that are familiar. And then another response that you want to be prepared for is, oh, now you're plant-based, now you're vegan, now you've got a new thing. What am I even going to feed you? And a nice way to respond to that is, how about I bring a dish or two to pass this time? Because a lot of times it's a last minute, right? It's not, sometimes you're planned ahead, but when you finally RSVP or get back with the host and you're thinking, oh, now I have to tell them I'm plant-based. You say, just so you know I'm plant-based, how about I bring a dish or two to pass this time? And then I'll share a few recipes for the next time we get together that maybe you and your friends or your family would also like to eat. That way you can focus on getting things ready for the party. I can take care of myself. I'll bring a couple dishes that everybody will like. And then really focus on bringing those familiar foods. Maybe it's a noodle pasta salad. Maybe it's a potato salad. You guys know I'm pretty high carb. I eat, at least 50% of my plate is starches all the time. So potatoes, pasta, whole grains, those are my love language now. I'm happy. Potatoes were always my love language, let's be real. But it's about putting a positive spin on the way you eat and offering to help the host and hostess helps to set them at ease, especially if this way of eating is new to them. And then your job is to knock their socks off with an amazing dish or two, right? That is the key. It's not about the preachy vegan or the arguments or, there's going to be people that jab you. There's going to be people that are like making jokes and, just not being polite. But a lot of times people do that in response to fear. That is how they deal with something that's different or something that they would be afraid to choose. So it really is important for you to learn to stand in that conviction and work these phrases into your own words. Now, again, this is available for replay until tomorrow if you need to go back and rewatch this section, but it really is important work to show that positivity and make these a natural response so that you're both comfortable saying it and you also are acting in compassion. Oftentimes we make this choice out of compassion for animals. We should also display that compassion towards the people because they don't understand. They may not be ready to watch the videos that you've watched. Some of you may not have been ready. I was not ready. I was 3 or 4 months in before I even let myself think about animal agriculture. So the things that you say, these phrases, may also change based on who you're talking to and how well you know them. But with anyone, you want to focus on the things you do eat and what you can do to make this social situation easier for them. It's likely not going to be as easy for you, but at least going into it with a positive mindset, foods that you can eat and enjoy, right? If they're serving hot dogs, maybe you bring a carrot dog and throw on the grill. If they're serving burgers, maybe you bring a couple of veggie burgers that can be reheated on the grill. If they're serving all these picnic salads, make yourself some picnic salads. If you know they're going to have a cake, especially if you have family members that want to eat like you, but don't want to miss out on the cakes, find a plant-based or vegan cupcake. I have a great recipe. We used the recipe from the Vegan Zombie. We've made it for pretty much every family event since we found it like 7 years ago. And we've also modified it to be oil-free. But take something that you know your family's going to like. These phrases and responses are just a small fraction of how to deal in social situations. We dig a lot deeper into, working with people and responding to people and really just living this as a lifestyle in the Successfully Plant-Based program, because these are things you're going to be encountering through your entire life. If this is a lifestyle, you are always going to be explaining to someone what you eat, whether it's a server, whether it's a new boss, whether it's a new family member, whether you're responding to a wedding. And so one of the reasons, and we talked about this yesterday, that we have a 12-month program is so that we can experience these situations together. So if you're really still sitting there and you're like, gosh, I want to be in this program, I don't know if it's for me, but I want to. Let's talk about it. I know it's for busy people. I know it's for people who love to cook. I know it's for people who don't love to cook. People in an RV, people with big kitchens. It's for people with family support and also people who'll be navigating these types of situations every day. Right? If you're in an omnivore family and you are constantly explaining why you want to eat this way, these are responses you need to be prepared for. You need to have that information. Maybe it is that maybe we spend an entire call talking about where I get my information so that you are equipped with the knowledge and the information to share with people when they ask in a compassionate way. I always tell people the hardest part about eating plant-based is watching other people not eat plant-based and then complain about all their illnesses. That's very frustrating. It's very, very hard, especially for someone like me who wants to help everyone. I'm the person that hears somebody talking about their illness in the pharmacy and is like, do I mention plant-based eating or do I mind my own business? I usually mind my own business, but you never know. I want you to imagine what your life will be like in 3 months when you've reached that first milestone as a result of making the investment in plant-based eating, in making that investment in your own health and wellness, in taking action right away, and where you're happily making meals for yourself. You're smiling because in the kitchen you feel confident. It's intuitive. You know exactly what to do with those ingredients. You can easily put together a meal plan in a few days because you have a recipe arsenal that we build together. I want you to imagine what it would be like having a conversation with me every week. This is the kind of information I present in the program. We just go deeper. It's more customized. It really, truly is about your journey. Above all else, I really want you to know that I am in this for you, to support you, and that you do have options. You don't have to go it alone, and you don't necessarily have to become a member of the Successfully Plant-Based program. There are options, and I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to have a conversation about them before you write off this next step. Check in with me. Check your Facebook messages, your emails. Let's really, really dig into the strategy session for your plan to plant-based. Let's get you on the road to success because I want that for you, right? I want you at the end of a year to be like, this was the best year of my life. I am confident in this. I know how to put meals on the table for my family. I know how to do it in my busy schedule. I know how to do it to make myself and my family happy. So obviously, if you're ready to join, you can visit veginspired.com/coaching2021. I know Stacy's still here. If you have that link, veginspired.com/coaching2021. You can get started right away. Your first group coaching call will be tomorrow night. You will basically not miss a beat. You will go right from here, right into the program. I don't waste any time. I don't want to waste any time because lifestyle changes are made day to day in the daily habits, the things we do every day. And so letting a week or a month or any time go by is not what I'm in for. I want to make sure that if you're ready to run this path, that you start it right away. And I work each week on uncovering the habits and strategies that will help you implement and stick to those daily habits. For any of you on the fence, don't forget about the 2 48-hour bonuses, right? Cart closes noon on Wednesday. Make sure you've booked your call. If you're booked before that time, you qualify for the bonuses. So make sure that we are having a conversation. Even if you don't think it's for you and you don't think you're going to do it, get on a call because what happens if money falls from the sky and you want it, and now you can qualify for these 2 bonuses. So bonus 1 is that one-on-one bonus 30-minute session to do anything you need. We can restock your pantry. We can sit and do recipe curation. We can sit and write a personalized meal plan. I can do a mini cooking class on cooking without oil or how to cook tofu. It really is a custom session for you. Maybe you hate tomatoes or you're allergic to nuts and you really want to dig through a cookbook to try and figure out how to substitute that. I can help you with that. It's customized and it's scheduled right away, so we're ready to hit the ground running. And then the second bonus is the meal planning masterclass that's being taught next month. You will have complimentary access as a part of joining the program within the next 48 hours. These bonuses have a value of over $500 and are only available for those who make the commitment between now and noon on Wednesday. So if you're really ready to start, you can follow that link. Stacy dropped it in the chat. If you aren't sure what to do and you need clarification, let's have a conversation. That link is veginspired.com/strategy call. I know Stacy can put that in the chat as well. There are more. I opened up more slots on my calendar because you guys just booked me full-fledged back-to-back. It's been such a joy talking to you, getting to know you, learning your goals, and I'm so excited for where these journeys are going to go and watching you unfold. So if you aren't sure what to do, let's hop on a quick call. Let's talk about it. You have options. You have options. And when you are in the program, you have opportunities to connect with me day in and day out, group calls every week, office hours, your monthly one-on-ones. But the biggest thing you get, the biggest outcome is confidence, accountability, somebody that you can talk to about this, somebody who's been there before, habit development. We walk through 30-day increments to get you into the habit of living this as a lifestyle. Implementation support, the how do I do XYZ? That's what I'm here for. Recipe and meal ideas, and an understanding coach who's walked the path, encountered the obstacles, and did it anyway. This program is worth far more than its price tag of $5,700, and it is really, truly worth taking that step back and looking at a way to make this work. It is worth having a conversation to explore your options. It is worth talking to me. How can you get the support to jumpstart your path to plant-based? So don't opt out of that call. It truly is that culminating strategy session for the workshop so that you can take everything you've learned these 9 days and put them into practice. I'm not hopping on a call to convince you to do anything. I want you to succeed, and I want you to be able to take intentional action after the workshop ends. So let's work together to figure out what that action looks like. So the link again is veginspired.com/strategy call. I am here for you. My calendar is open, and I invite you to really, really take a deep look and see if we can make this work. Now, I know, look, all these comments in the chat. Yes, Angel, a mentalist for Seattle. Corey, I hope you answered your question about the all-inclusive. Joanne, I love this. It's not about what you can't eat, but about the wonderful, healthy, compassionate foods you do eat. Absolutely. Your best friend has no desire to go vegan, but loves making fantastic dinners for you and your husband. That's awesome. And it's about educating people. It's about encouraging them, showing up for them. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for your time today. Again, we do have our final 7 p.m. call tomorrow, all about those plant-based meals for health, wellness, and really those things that fill you up. Your homework is to write out some of the responses for the social situations. What are you going to say when Uncle whatever, when your uncle says to you, what do you eat? Now, are you still doing that vegan thing? Or you're not going to eat my favorite famous beans? Like, what are you going to say? Because those responses are truly what sets you apart and allows you to enter into this as a lifestyle. Because yes, Uncle so-and-so, I'm still doing the vegan thing. Have a wonderful night. I appreciate you. I appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, with our final bonus session. Bye.